Danny in London, you are on with Jenna and Matt. How are you?
Hi, Danny. Hello?
Okay. We're going to go ahead and let Danny go, but we're going to take his question just because it was curious. So, Jenna, what's wrong with an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth?
I think everybody loses eyes and tooths that way. all you do is lose things.
Yeah. Also, if there's somebody who's running around, like poking eyes out, right. Once you've taken two of their eyes, if they're able to still do it, what are you going to do then?
And who gets to decide, and how do you get to take it?
Yeah. One of the things is that in a simplistic notion, then the idea of an eye for an eye essentially means what we should be looking for when we're talking about justice is a measured response so that people get as good as they give. Now, I find that there's room for compassion and room for forgiveness, such that just because somebody basically put out an eye doesn't mean that that's necessarily the best course of action for that. You know, there's the old adage of an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. I don't think that's completely accurate, but we should be looking for fairness. The problem is that there are incredibly simplistic notions of fairness and justice. And I think that, for example, if somebody accidentally stepped on my foot, that's different from them stomping on my foot on purpose. In both cases, my foot got stepped on. Should my response be the same to both those people? I mean, should I just stomp on their foots too?
I don't think so.
I can't see what that really gets me. I think there are other ways to go about compensation for things done that were unjust. And also there needs to be a recognition of a difference between intent. So it can't just be, ooh, somebody took an action and this person over here is now dead, because that could be murder, murder 2, murder 3, manslaughter, involuntary homicide, etc. We've learned a lot more about how to dispense justice and when and how it might be in our best interest to encourage leniency. And so, yeah, by and large, there are good ideas at the foundation of eye for an eye, which is this notion of the punishment should fit the crime. I find it really sad that eye for an eye winds up sounding incredibly reasonable, considering there are, I don't know how many different infractions one can commit that the Bible holds the penalty for that is death. Picking up sticks on the Sabbath, doing anything on the Sabbath essentially is death, 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 death. That's not an eye for an eye. It seems that an eye for an eye is something that they tried to impose on us so that we wouldn't run around with the over-exaggerated, over-the-top vengeance style notions of justice that the God that they were advocating for was pushing. I don't know.
I think it's lazy. I think life just isn't that black and white. It's just not that simple. Yeah. So I think every situation is different. You have to look at why people are doing it and how they're doing it. And I mean, it's just different. You just can't say that, I don't think.